Hello and welcome back to Bebo's Kitchen. Have you ever heard the old saying, same song, different verse? Well, that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing a recipe that I've already done, but I'm using a different meat. I'm going to do the stir-fried chicken recipe that I did earlier. And Miss Inez's son sent a message to me that I needed to do it with baby back ribs. Do it the same way. And so that's what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to show you how to do this. I have my slab of ribs that I have rinsed and have them ready to cut. And just in case any of you don't know how to cut up ribs, which I doubt, I'm sure all of you know, you would go in between the bones, the rib bone, and just cut it. Okay, the ribs are all cut up, and so now I'm going to start preparing my cast iron pot. Like I had told in the first video that I did with the stir-fried chicken, Miss Inez told me that you have to use a cast iron pot, otherwise it's not going to cook the right way, the way that she was taught to cook it. So I have 2 cast iron pots, and I'm going to be cooking ribs both at the same time. Now, I'm having a friend over for dinner this evening, Miss Inez's daughter, Gloria. She's a very good friend of mine. And she's going to come share dinner with me this evening. So I want to get the ribs cooking, and then I'm going to do some, I think they're called creamy garlic parmesan green beans. And I will probably do that on a separate video, but be sure to watch it because, oh my gosh, a friend, Lisa and Doug, told me about that recipe, and I looked it up, and oh my gosh, it's so good. So you'll need to be sure and watch that video. I'm also going to be preparing some sweet potatoes, and I'm doing them in a way I've never done. It's my own idea, so I don't know how they'll turn out, but I will have that on this video so that you can see. So now I'm going to get started, and I want to show you, in case you missed the other video, how you are to prepare your pan to put your meat in. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing you're going to do, and I'm using avocado oil to do this. You can use any kind of oil that you want to use, but I'm going to use avocado. And you just want to put about 1/8 of an inch of oil in the bottom of your pot. Basically, what you're doing is just covering the bottom of the pot with oil. You don't want too much. That's good. And I will do the same in the second pot, just enough to coat the bottom of the pot. You want to season your meat with salt and pepper. You do not put any flour on this. This just cooks bare. It doesn't have any kind of flour coating on it. Do the same on both sides. Okay, and now we're going to add this into the oil. You want this lying in a single form here. You don't want to stack it on top of each other. You just want to lay it single form. Now to that, I'm going to add water till it's about 2/3 up on the side of the meat. Okay. And now I'm going to turn the heat on high only to get the heat up in this, and then I will turn it down to medium. You want to put a lid on your pot, but you want the lid to be cracked so that the steam can escape. So you're going to leave it just like that and let it go to cooking. Okay, the water is boiling, so I'm going to turn this down to a medium heat, and I'm going to let this just sit and cook until it cooks down, and then you will notice a change in the sound of it, and that's when you will turn your meat and add more water. so it will just cook for the time being. Okay, while my meat is cooking, I'm going to prep my potatoes. And the way I'm going to do these, I have peeled my sweet potatoes and I have cubed them into chunks. I don't think you would want them real thick, but what my idea is with this, I'm going to coat them with avocado oil. I just want to grease them up really well with this, and I'm going to toss them so that they're all coated with the oil. Next, I'm going to salt them lightly. I don't want a heavy salting. I just want enough that it gives you that sweet salt taste, and I'm going to mix that to try to coat all of them really well with that. Now I'm going to sprinkle some granulated sugar over these. I just want to do a real good sprinkle because my thought that I'm having is that maybe it will sort of caramelize and give it a crispy texture. And then I'm going to sprinkle some cinnamon also on them. And now I want to toss all that together. I'm going to bake these in the oven. I'm going to let those sit, and I'll prepare my baking sheet, and a little later then I'm going to bake these in the oven, but I'm just going to let them set for the time being while my meat's cooking. Okay, the sound of the meat cooking has changed, and I want you to hear this. I'm going to get down low with my mic. You hear that? It's making like a frying sound. So that means that the water has cooked out, and I'm going to turn it. The larger pot has not quite reached this point yet, but it will be shortly. Oh gosh, I bet those are going to be so good. Thank you, Jerry Popwell, for telling me, or telling Gloria to tell me to do this. And now I'm going to add water halfway up the ribs. And I'll put the lid back on it with it cracked so that the steam can escape. Let's take a look at this pot so that you can see. See, it's still got water. It hasn't cooked down yet. And I'm going to get down because I want you to hear the difference in the sound. It doesn't make that frying sound. But when the water is all evaporated, then that's when it starts making the frying sound, which lets you know it's time to turn the meat. Okay, these are starting to sizzle. So now I'm going to turn those, and I'm going to add water to about halfway up on the ribs. Okay, and then we'll let them continue cooking. Okay, while the ribs are continuing to cook, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my potatoes on a baking sheet that I have lined with parchment paper. This is how they look. I've got them cubed like so. And I hope this will be good. I don't know because I've never done them this way. This was just an idea, a thought that I had. And so I'm going to try it and see. So here goes. We're going to put them on the baking sheet now and get them ready to go in the oven. You could use any oil of your choice. I just decided to go with the avocado. It would probably be really good with olive oil on it also. I just want to get them all spread out so they can cook individually. I'm just going to drizzle this over them. And voila, this may be a flop, who knows, but we'll see. Hopefully it's going to turn out really delicious. I think sweet potato with baby back ribs, I mean, how can you go wrong? Whether they turn out good or whether they don't, we'll see. I'm going to bake them in a 350-degree oven, and I don't know really how long it will take to bake. I'll kind of try to time it so that I can tell you. And we'll see after they come out of the oven. Okay, our meat has started to sizzle again. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer from one pot to the other, and then I'm going to make some gravy. Now I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup of flour in my oil. Stir it real good. Get all the dredge up off of the bottom. And I want my flour to brown, so I'm going to let it cook for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take up my ribs. They're just kind of falling off the bone. And those are going to be really delicious. Don't those look good? They smell wonderful. Okay, this is browning up. Okay, and now I'm going to add water to this. You could also add onions to this and make an onion gravy, which I often do that, and it's so good. I have made a pot of rice, so we will be having the gravy over the rice. I'm going to salt this, and I want to add some pepper. Just use your personal preference to seasoning it, ever how much salt if you want, or if you want pepper or not want pepper. Okay, the gravy has started thickening up, and so I think what I'm going to do is add my ribs to the gravy and let them just simmer in the gravy until Gloria comes for our dinner. I'm just going to put the lid back on this and let it simmer just on low. I think this is going to be sensational. Oh my goodness. It looks and smells really good. My potatoes are out of the oven. They finished cooking and they're done, but I've taken a fork and kind of grouped them up together closer, and what I'm going to do now is take some sugar and sprinkle over them, and then I'll put it back in the oven and broil them for just a few minutes to see if I can caramelize the sugar. If it doesn't, that's okay too, because I think they're going to be good. They smell great. But anyway, I just wanted you to see how they look. So now I'm just going to sprinkle the sugar over them. Even though I had added sugar, I didn't add very much, and I'm not adding very much now either. But anyway, we'll see how it turns out. I wanted it to kind of be crunchy, but I don't know if it's going to be or not. But anyway, I'll put them back in the oven under broil and see if it will caramelize it. And then I'll bring them back out and show you. Okay, the potatoes are out of the oven. They're sizzling. And I don't know if I'm going to get a crunch. Probably not, but I think it'll be really good. Well, my dinner is complete, and I'm waiting on my friend and granddaughter. This is a meal fit for you thought I was going to say a king or a queen, but for a friend. My ribs, I think, are going to be absolutely outstanding. The green beans are absolutely delicious, as well as my sweet potatoes. They turned out so good. While nobody was watching, I whipped up a batch of buttermilk biscuits. Gloria loves my biscuits. And so we'll have rice with some gravy and green beans and sweet potatoes and biscuits and ribs. Can't get any better than that. And also, I've made sweet tea. It wouldn't be the South without some sweet tea. So when she gets here, I'll do a taste test and let you know what I think about it. Okay, my friend has made it, and we're getting ready to have dinner, so I'm going to do my taste test for you. The green beans, I've had these before, and these are absolutely delicious. I hope that you will try them. I'll link the recipe in the description box below. Those are so good. I can make a meal just out of the green beans. My potatoes that I told you I was going to try this, it was my idea as to what to do. They are delicious. Oh my gosh, those are so good. But they turned out great. And man, that's good. I made rice so that We could eat the gravy from the baby back ribs. So this is the gravy and the rice. I'm going to try that. Good. It's really good.
It all smells.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to be polite here. I'm just going to eat my rib. Okay? This is so tender. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the idea, Jerry Popwell. That is worth writing home about. Gosh, that's good. And then, of course, like I said, back home on the range, or it was back at the ranch, I believe is actually what I said. Back at the ranch. While nobody was looking, I made some buttermilk biscuits. So here's to my friend Gloria, because she likes my biscuits.
I love them.
Gosh, oh, those are so crispy on the outer side. Oh, they're good.
They're wonderful. I can hardly wait. Can you fast forward?
Yeah. Okay. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment and I'll reply back to you. And don't forget to click on the bell. That way you'll receive a notification whenever I post another video. Share it with somebody. I'd appreciate it so much. And I appreciate the ones that have subscribed and are supporting me. It just means the world to me. So with that being said, this is Beba signing off saying, may the Lord bless and keep you and your family safe. And until the next time, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you really soon. Bye.